Right, just picked this up. Bought this the other day, and picked it up this morning from Field Sports Equip in Rill. Ian got it in for me, and funnily enough, the same day I picked this up, one of my shooting friends also picked up the carbine one, but with the grey laminate stock, and what a lovely looking little gun that is as well. But anyway, back to the one I bought. So this is a HW110 carbine, the K, because carbine in German is spelt with a K. And the reason I bought this, I wanted a dedicated little night hunting rifle. I found that when I put this Wraith on my HW100S, it spoilt the balance and spoilt the looks of what is a traditionally styled sporting air rifle. So this one, much more tactical looking, black rubberized stock, much shorter and also much lighter. And I was able to, it's also got a slightly, well, it's about half an inch, I think, shorter reach pull than the S, so I didn't have to put the reach back mount on the Wraith. It may do the normal mount. So let's have a look at this rifle and see what you get. Now, this isn't the first time I've owned one of these. It's the first time I've had the carbine, but it's not the first time that I've had a 110. I bought one when they first came out. I had it for quite a long time. Cracking little rifle, field rifle. So let's have a little look at this one then and refresh my memory. A few things have changed on the rifle. Only small cosmetic things since the one that I bought, but we'll have a little look. So, HW110 carbine. Start at the front, comes with the new style Weihrauch moderator. So it's no longer got that sort of chamfered end, it's just got a flat end. Probably the best moderators going, Weihrauch moderators, to be fair. Really quiet, and it's pretty much the standard by which all other silencers have been judged. I think that's fair to say. So pretty much standard barrel over cylinder. There's a barrel band that doesn't actually touch the barrel, so the barrel is free floating within this band. I'm not actually sure what the band's for really, because it doesn't touch it. Fairly small cylinder. Now, Weihrauch's official figures are that you will get about 50 shots in 177 and about 60 in 22. But talking to people that have shot this rifle and having played about with it this morning quite a lot, I would say that those figures are a little bit on the low side. Filling it up to 200, but I actually managed to get, which is the max fill pressure of this, all the Weihrauch PCPs, I actually managed to get round about 65 shots in 177 before it sort of fell off the reg, and that the pellets started to drop off target a bit. So I think about 65, and I reckon you're looking at about 75 in 22 would be slightly more realistic figures, which, when you think the size of the gun and the size of that air tank, pretty damn good going. The other thing is, people get obsessed with shot count, but really, you know, it's a hunting gun, this, it's not a target gun, it is a hunting gun. And when was the last time you went out and shot 60 rabbits? A, you'd have a hell of a job to carry them home, and B, why would you want to shoot so many while sitting? It's not feasible, and really there's no need to obsess with shot count. So I reckon you're going to get about 60-ish in 177 and about 70-ish in 22. Comes in a nice rubberized stock. It's not synthetic stock, it's not a plastic stock or ABS. It's beechwood that's coated in a rubberized finish. Now, I had my other 110 for a long time and gave it a right good battering because it was my main field rifle and had a right hard life, to be fair. And other than a few little sort of scuffs on this rubberized finish, it lasted really well. It provides an extremely grippy finish, even with soaking wet hands and a soaking wet rifle. And just for extra measure, they've put this little checkering on it as well. To be honest, the actual rubberized finish is so good, you don't really need this, but it looks good and it helps. It does help, I suppose, a bit. So it's not a plastic stock, it's not a synthetic stock, it is wood, but it's just got this rubberized finish over it. There's a small Picatinny rail at the front. When you buy the gun, this isn't fitted, you have to screw this on yourself, but it's pre-drilled and pre-tapped, and it comes with the screws, so easy. So it means you can get a bipod on there straight off, should you wish, or stick an IR lamp on the front, or whatever you want really, or a torch, rangefinder, anything you like, straight on, easy. The changes on the original 110s are that these, the loading lever and the safety catch, used to be a rather horrible sort of bare metal casting silver colour that always, I thought, let down the look of the rifle. In fact, on my first 110 I painted them in black. Now they're anodised to match the rest of the gun, and a much nicer, neater arrangement it is too. The safety catch on the 110 is like the safety catch on the 100. You can't put it on if the gun isn't cocked. The only way you can engage the safety catch is when the rifle is cocked and ready to fire, and that's quite useful because it means that if you're out at night and you don't know whether your gun's, you can't remember whether you cocked your rifle or not, if you can't engage the safety catch, you've not cocked it. If you can engage the safety catch, then the rifle's cocked. So it's quite a handy little feature to know whether your rifle is cocked or not without actually pulling the trigger and firing a shot off. The action on these, as everyone knows by now, is a ballistic polymer. Nothing to worry about. They've been using polymers on full-bore pistols and rifles and whatnot for donkey's years and military guns. So it's a proven method of manufacture. On the top, Picatinny rail. And it's a fixed Picatinny rail, not like on the 100 where you have to screw the Picatinny rail on to a normal dovetail. This is an integral part of the polymer action. So Picatinny rail on the top, side lever cocking, really nice side lever. Again, made of ballistic polymer, but really solid. Weihrauch, let's be honest, Weihrauch's got a reputation for making exceptionally well-made rifles. They take their time about bringing something out, and when they do, they normally get it right first time. So, solid, smooth. Unlike the 100, it's not really spring-loaded. So on the 100, when you open it, it's spring-loaded and it flicks part of the way, and you only have to pull it back the last bit to cock the rifle. On this, you have to pull it all the way back manually. That's no big deal because it's easy, it's smooth, and it's slick. Now, the only part that people do struggle with on the 110s is when you come to load the magazine, which is a solid metal magazine, alloy magazine. Pop the pellets in on the front, little O-ring goes around, hold them in place, and that pops in there. And you have to cock the rifle, lift that up, and then slide it in. And it can be fiddly at first. When you first get one of these, it can be somewhat frustrating to get that in because it's not always easy to get it located. Once it's in and that locks down, then it's going nowhere, and these things cycle the mags beautifully. It's exceptionally positive cycling of the magazines. You don't get pellet clippage, nothing. They're probably amongst the best magazine systems on any PCP air rifle, the Weihrauch ones. It's just that when you first get one, loading it with this can be a bit fiddly. And I always thought on my original 110 that the action got slicker, but I'm not sure whether it did. I think that it was always the same. It's just that you get used to loading it with shooting it a lot. So you just get used to loading the magazine and it becomes second nature. But when you first get one, that can appear to be a little bit fiddly. Fantastic trigger. It's polymer again. The trigger's polymer and the trigger guard's polymer, but it's a great trigger, as are all Weihrauch triggers. 2-stage, really sweet, crisp braking, pretty light, beautiful thing. Really, really smart. Very, very nice. Nice blade as well. It's a nice shaped blade. Stock is ambidextrous. You can get, but only on order from the factory, this in a left-handed version where the cocking lever is also on the other side of the rifle. But it's not a swappable thing that you could do yourself, I don't think. But you can get a dedicated left-handed rifle. But the stock itself is completely ambidextrous. No palm swell on the pistol grip, so it's just totally ambidextrous, but really, really nice, to be fair. Really nice stock. Nice high cheek piece, brings your eye up perfectly for a scope. Non-adjustable rubber butt pad, pretty much standard Weihrauch fare, to be honest with you. Fore end is a really nice length for a little carbine. It is slightly longer on the bigger version, but obviously they truncate it a bit to keep the carbine feel going. But it still gives you plenty of length for even the biggest of hands to get in there. And remember, you can take this off if you're going to be doing mainly freestanding shooting. Personally, I leave it on anyway because it's quite handy. If you're leaning on gate posts or trees or fences or whatever, it saves bashing the underside of the rifle, because you can rest it on that even if you've not got a bipod on it. So on the other side, not that keen on this, to be honest. I don't like having the in big letters etched onto the cylinder, but that's just me. So you see ambidextrous, and you can see the cutout here where the lever will swap round, and the little hole here as well, which is, I assume, where the safety catch, not the safety catch, pardon me, but the cocking lever thing here will go on the other side as well. A few stats for you. So apparently this rifle is 2.7 kilos in weight, so substantially lighter than the 100s, and the carbine version is 31.5 inches long with a 12.2 inch barrel on it, which is pretty short. But to be fair, I've been shooting this just to zero the wraith in, and I've been shooting it about 25 yards, and it's producing near as damn it one hole groups, and I mean like literally like one pellet going through, and it's hard to see for sure that the others are hitting the target because they're that close going through the same hole. I mean, all right, it's only 25 yards, but it certainly has all the accuracy that you would expect from a manufacturer like Weihrauch. Weihrauch manufacture their own barrels, so it's not as are nearly all barrels these days. It's not from whatchamacallit. It's an in-house Weihrauch barrel, and it's just an absolute beauty. And the weight distribution is really good, even with this substantial night vision gear on. Still really easy to handle. In the box you get two mags, which is good, and the filler probe, and it just fills as per normal. Pop the probe in, and you've got a little Delrin blocker there. Gauge on the end. You don't have to look down the barrel to see it. I don't know why everyone panics and going, "Oh, you have to look down the barrel." I'm nowhere near looking down the barrel, and I can see perfectly clearly what that is reading, so it's no big deal. All in all, cracking little gun, and I'm really looking forward to going night shooting. Probably going to go tonight and see how it performs in the field. So yeah, beautiful little thing, proper good Weihrauch quality, slick action, very lightweight for a Weihrauch, super compact, even with the fairly substantial scope silencer on it. Yeah, looks great. Oh, one other thing, I've actually ordered the XL K moderator to go on this, which is about 1 inch and a bit shorter than this moderator, but slightly fatter. Not because this moderator doesn't do a fantastic job, which it does, but just because I think a shorter moderator would look perhaps a bit more in keeping with the short stubby lines of the rifle, and it's also quite chunky. And in all fairness, the XLK moderators from Weihrauch, again, Weihrauch moderators are fantastic. The internals are really good, simple but super effective. So I'm waiting for that to arrive. I thought it would have come with the rifle, but there was a bit of a delay on getting one of those, so that'll be here probably in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, fantastic. What a beautiful little thing. Really nice little tidy little compact little carbine rifle with all the quality you expect from Weihrauch. Beautifully blued barrel, though again, I was thinking of, in keeping with the more sort of tactical sort of look of this rifle, I've actually got a carbon fibre shroud that just fits over the top. It's purely cosmetic. It doesn't serve any other function than it's carbon fibre, and it looks quite good. So at some stage or other I might slip that on. But yeah, brilliant. It's bloody accurate. So accurate. Such a little gun. It's as accurate as anything I've ever shot, to be fair. So there it is, HW110 carbine. Keep your eyes open, because in the coming weeks I will be shooting this at night, doing some night hunting with it, and I'll also be doing a comparison with the 100S that I own as well. Some shooting comparisons there, and just seeing what the differences, what the basic differences are between the two rifles. Help people make a choice of which one they would prefer. Thanks for watching.